Hello, what is up, fqvtw? This is Shatner's Prodigy, and I'm bringing you the 22nd episode of Fabled Quasar vs. the World, and I hope this series needs no introduction by this point. So our opponent here, Ryder, goes first and sets one card. I'm not really too concerned. I'll go off into one back row, I don't really care. Once we get up into the 2, 3, 4 range, then I start carrying, and then I'll start trying to go for like black rows or something, but against one back row, I don't care. If you have the Solemn, if you have the Bottomless or Torrential, whatever, GG, but until that point, I don't care. So I bring out Dinotherium, and I'm asking him here if he wants to trigger Dinotherium's effect to bring out a level 4 monster from my graveyard, and he does, but it doesn't really matter to me because I have that Soul Charge face down. And here I'll activate that Ayers Rock Sunrise to bring out Chawa, which will make my Where Art Thou, or my Where Art Thou live. And a cool interaction is, since I did use One Day of Peace, even if I don't normal summon the monster that I brought out with Where Art Thou, I don't take the damage because, of course, One Day of Peace prevents damage from being taken. So I didn't use Soul Charge this turn, despite the fact it's face down, because I just couldn't make a level 2. And I attack over his Armory Arm, and he doesn't take any damage because, again, One Day of Peace. He uses Mirror Force, but I'm not at all concerned. I just negate it with Quasar, and I pass. And here I just remind him about One Day of Peace. And so, going into his turn, he's looking at his hand, he's debating what he wants to do, and he quits. So Soul Charge, I don't think I could have made a second Quasar, but whatever. I think you'll see your fair share of double Quasars this video. So, going into our second duel here against Coster 33. I use One Day of Peace to get that dead glow up bulb out of my hand, and I bring out the, and I bring out Tuningware, and I'm glad I hit the Chawa whenever I milled it off of glow up bulb, because that means I can Soul Charge into him at any point and make that Grimrow live, but it looks like I won't be needing to do that. So here I use Foolish Burial to put Raven into my graveyard, just so I have something that will go well with my with my Cross, because getting Chawa wouldn't really help me there. So Cross is going to bring out Grimrow because I need to get another level 1 out. And here he comments that it's been a really productive draw phase, and I'm like, yeah, it has. So here I activate this to get a few more draws, and I draw into nothing particularly good, but I do draw into Quasar, and I think I have Soul Charge face down, which means we'll be able to go into that no-skill double Quasar, which is always the best type of double Quasar. Man, I mean, who wants to put time and effort into making a Quasar when it can just do that? So I use Mind Control, and I just attack for game. So nothing I can do there. I mean, nothing more I can do there. I got a double Quasar out. And here we're going to the third duel against Hollow Dueler. So I pass because I can't make a move at the current moment with my current hand. Mind Control really screwing me over a little bit. We get to main phase 2, and then I realize you can't special summon the turn you use Duality. So he passes it back. Mind Control puts in a little bit of work here, as I'm able to go for that 1-for-1 into Chawa. Nope, into Glow Up Bulb, that's right. So my plan here is to go for Librarian and that 3-draw Tuningware, and that 3-draw Formula Synchron, just to try and get some more plays. Really, that's all I'm trying to do right now. So my hand is not looking promising. I get these 2 out, and I go for it again. And I have so many cards in my hand, and 3 of them are the Fabled Cross. Now, luckily, I think I'm able to make something out of this, because I'll be able to go into Armory Arm and then use the, then use the Chawa to go into Reagan. And I have the Soul Charge, so you're going to see a double Quasar back-to-back, which is something that rarely happens. Rarely, if ever, I should say. And then I say, and now for the style, because it is absolutely styling to get out 2 Quasars on your first turn. So he uses MST to try and bait out my, try and bait out my Quasar, and it works. And I negate his Monarch Stormforth, and here he tries to use another one, and I say, you can't do that, sorry. can only use one Monarch Stormforth per turn. And so he takes it back, and it looks like he's in a pickle, because we know he has Photon Thrasher and now the Monarch Stormforth in his hand. And his other two cards are Cyber Dragon and Rise of the Storm Monarch. So he can't really do anything, and he's kind of forced to scoop it up here, because I'll just be able to, because I have 16,000 damage on board, and there's really nothing he can do. So, yeah, onward and upward. So here we're going into our third duel against Breaker J. Either third or fourth, I'm sorry. I lost count a little bit, whatever, doesn't matter. So he activates Terraforming and gets himself a Gear Town. Then he'll activate another Terraforming and get himself a second Gear Town. And he activates Gear Town and passes, which is a bit questionable because in his position, I would have just gotten the Gadulatron, or however you pronounce it, out. And here I have a ton of draw power, but not really anything I can do with it. Now this is slightly more promising, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, as I have to give up some very powerful recursion cards, or I have to give up my Where Art Thou. So here I'm thinking about what I want to do pushing forward, and there's not really much I can do. Here I think I'm forced to discard my Where Art Thou just to give Raven that extra level that I need to go into Reagan. Because without Reagan I can't really do anything. So I draw 2, and there's not much I can do at this point. I'm kind of forced to go for this Soul Charge play and just bring everything back in the hope I can make another Reagan. And here Colossalus comes in clutch, and I draw 2, and I can't really do anything. So I just power up my Reagan to, to 3,300 and pass back to him. There's not much he can do at this point. I mean, 3,300 is very powerful. He sets some back row, and looks like he's playing Mech Lord, so I think Weissel has that effect where he can absorb Synchro Monsters, but outside of that, I'm not sure. But he goes into the Star Eater, which will just beat over my Grimro, and luckily my Reagan is 100 attack higher, so I attack into it, he deprisons, and I pass, and I scoop it up. Nothing I can do there. So going in here, we are at the 5th duel, I'm pretty sure, against Rolam to Hermana, which to Hermana means your brother, so that's useful. So here I think I make a bit of a minor misplay. I'm gonna go for Reagan using Cerberell and Ganassia, but I think in the long run it would have helped me out more if I would have gone for TG Hyperlibrarian here. But whatever, it's of no coincidence, it's of no consequence. I just use that Where Art Thou to get myself 3 more levels in hand, and I bring them out, and I go for Formula Synchron, get that draw into Desynchro. Here I could have maybe made a better play if I had gone to TG Hyperlibrarian, because right now all this drawing 1 stuff is not very conducive to getting Quasar out. Now I do have Soul Charge, but it's not helping me out overly much, and so I think I'm going to be forced to use that, I'm forced to go into Phonon just to make the Quasar. Here I try to use Soul Charge, and then I remember I can't, because Phonon's effect, if you don't know it, it prevents you from special summoning any monsters except for him the turn that you special summon. So here he activates Heart of the Underdog, I put my counter on Quasar, I forget to say negate, whatever, small fish in a big pond. I don't know what his graveyard is, it's Heart of the Underdog and something else. And looks like he activates Dragon Mirror and gets out Worm the Progenitor Dragon. If you don't know what that guy does, there's his effect. He can't be destroyed by battle, and he's unaffected by other card effects. And I just can't get over him. I really can't. There's literally nothing I can do. For a brief moment there, I considered going into Black Rose Dragon using any means possible, and then banishing the Glow Up Bulb to put him in attack mode with 0 attack. But that wouldn't work. and I lose. I can't get over him. But yeah, you can't win them all, and with that, I think I'm gonna leave you guys. Sorry for the irregular upload schedule. It's summer and I'm lazy, so, you know, those two go hand in hand. But yeah, this has been Shatner's Prodigy, signing out.
On my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.